Hello everyone, this is Yumei Gaming logging in and the game is Eve Echoes. So today is a really special day for me for because I got to 100 subscribers today and that is a 3-digit subscriber count showing up on my channel. It has been possible all due to your support, so thank you for it. And also, Echoes has been officially announced to release on 13th of August. So book your dates and be prepared to have a enthralling experience in New Eden. So let's get to the video for today. And today's video is about the Ask Me Anything session that was held on 23rd July 2020. The Ask Me Anything was for the topic was optimization and performance. So in this video we will get to know about how the developers are planning to release Eve Echoes and like what are the steps they are taking to ensure that we have a lag free experience. What are the inputs they took from our feedback and how they are improving on it. So the developers also put in their stand on emulators, on say how they are just going to ensure that we have a lag free experience when the game launches, because the server is going to be massive and there is going to be a huge rush. So let's go on head on to the next slide. Of course, I'll also like to mention that I have taken almost 99% of the answers into the presentation, and questions have been left out due to duplication or double answering. So we had some questions which were answered twice by the developers, and of course I took the answers which were like more near to the questions, and which like answered the question better. uh, I would also like to mention that I will be going through all the questions and answers at a really fast speed, and so the video can be a little bit monotonous, but I'll try my best to add some good vocals in there. And if you're liking my content, please do like, share, and subscribe to show your support, as it will go a long way for me. So let's dive into it. Testicle leaves are Testicle leaves. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Testicle leaves asked switching from the app in beta to another and then back, it would lag significantly and sometimes need to reconnect, even while app was placed in background mode. Has or will this be addressed? Answer is, when switching back from background, we need to catch up with the server. If there are a lot of events that needs to be catch up, it's actually faster to reconnect. We are improving this. Hope the reconnect happens less, especially when in station. Farnix asked, any plans to officially support Amazon Fire tablets? Answer is, Eve Echoes should support Amazon Fire tablets, but we haven't tested Echoes on Fire tablets yet. We will check on this later. Lashman asked, will it be possible to create accounts characters before the servers go live? And to tie in with this, will it be possible to buy cognitive neuroscience skills before the server goes live to avoid potentially 3 million people all trying to buy them at the same time? I think this is a fabulous question, and this did strike me of as well. Creating characters here before is a good suggestion. We have discussed it but decided to be more focused on improving the stability. Same thing happened on the not in-game store. I'm not sure about what the second point means. Voxel asked, can we get 60 frame per second for Eve Echoes? Answer is, sorry, there is no 60 frame per second mode at the time of release. Taking into account the energy consumption of mobile devices, currently 60 frame per second is not the focus of our development. However, we will continue to optimize the performance of the client. If energy consumption is no longer a problem, we will definitely launch a 60 frame per second mode. Voxel asked, can you tell us where servers are located? Server is located at Virginia. And of course, to address the question before this, so I do not think 60 frame per second is a requirement, and yeah, the developers need to direct the energy towards stabilizing the servers, as it is going to be a massive game. Voxel asked, can you boost a server node, for example, Jita for high traffic or ongoing wars? The answer is yes, and that is a big relief, I must say. Voxel asked, will Eve echoes have time dilation? Answer is, for now, echoes don't have time dilation. We plan to have time dilation on first DLC. I could not understand was what is time dilation here. So if any of the viewers can answer this question in the comments below, it will be a great help. Voxel asked, how many players do you expect at the launch day in the game and what does that mean for the server stability, login servers, etc.? Answer is, the goal of our server team is to keep the server stable when 150,000 players are online at the same time. I think 150,000 players is a really small number according to the pre-registrations they have received, and according to the mass popularity the game is having. So let's see that they can hold more than 150,000 players at one time. Chronicle asked, concerning logistics, could you let us set the collateral level when we request deliveries? It seems there's no way for us to set how much we want the collateral to be. When we request for our own stuff to be delivered, answer is, we are still considering about the subjective collateral in deliveries. After making sure there is no risk of it, we will put it in our game. And I think this is really important for us to have a say on the collateral, because the market prices are not being driven by the game system and they're all completely player driven. So if there is a collateral of say 10,000 but the market price in actuality is say 100,000, so there's a straight 90,000 loss for the player whose items were going to be delivered. I hope they implement this system soon enough. Daira asked, what extra steps will be done to ensure stability, specifically in the Jita system or launch, since it will most likely be by far the highest populated system? Answer is, Jita won't have anomaly. Second, Jita will be on a separate high performance server node. Third is, Jita's market is running on a separate server node. And I think they did outline their steps on how they plan to counter Jita's popularity. For those of the viewers who do not know what Jita is a really popular, like the most popular trading center for all the players, and it became a popular trading center due to player centricity. Like it was completely player driven to make it a popular hub, and there is no part from the developer side for making it so popular. Anyways, Distant Night 29 asked, what can you do to make the game more stable and crash less often? Answer is, I can encourage Kai while he coding. In the last test, the crash rate was indeed higher than we expected. After the test, our client team set up a small group dedicated to cache repair, crash repair. They are currently locked in a small dark room to try to solve these problems. And I think I really love the humor the devs like put into this and how they address the question. And yeah, the I can encourage Kai while he is coding is answered by a separate developer, and the second one is the second line is answered by a second developer. So I really like the humor they put in here. Lord Apollo asked, what are the plans to deal with 3 million players or launch? Answer is, we built a robot platform to stress test the server, find various performance bottlenecks as much as possible. I will share more details with you in the developer log later. Okay, let's wait for the developer log soon. Vampire Call asked, what would be considered the minimum specifications needed to run the game on low settings without issues? Answers, the minimum required specifications has not yet been determined. Our client team is trying to lower this requirement as much as possible now. Of course, they are aiming to lower the specifications as low as possible so that more and more players can enjoy the game. Bloody asked, how will you handle different pings and where the servers will be located? The server is located at Virginia. We will set up proxy servers in some areas to speed up network connections. The specific areas list will be adjusted according to the local network situation. Alex Vegas asked, will there be a separate server for the Chinese? Now we are focusing on the global servers, still haven't considered the details about the separate server for now. And that is a really interesting question, as there are issues regarding Chinese laws that the games cannot charge a subscription based revenue model. That is a that is something which is being which must have been developed, discussed heavily within the developers team, and it is being speculated among the players as well. Aries asked, will you consider players playing using Android emulators on PC? Answer is, we won't officially support emulators, but we won't ban emulators as well. But they will use emulators to cheat, but emulators caught cheating would be banned. Aries asked, do you plan to add support for mouse and keyboard gamepads? Answer is, we have plans to support more input devices, but the premise is that our touch experience is optimized enough. Okay, so everyone who is going to use an emulator to run your game are gonna have a bit of a problem trying to, you know, go around the game, as it is more optimized for smartphones. Aries asks, do you have stats showing player distribution based on region, Europe, Asia, America? The answer is Exile will be in charge of this, I think. So that is not a satisfactory reply, and I could not find any reply by Exile in the AMA as well. So, anyways, Lyrics asked, is there any plans to simplify the view of displayed ships, as we currently only saw max 6 or 7 during automatic lock? I will let our UI team know about this issue. BadDragon asked, are there any development plans to lock limit accounts to IP addresses or devices? Answer is no plan on IP address right now. BadDragon asked, API or no API? Answer is API, but in the future. Sorry. Okay, I'm not a technical geek, and I could not understand what was the conversation about, like API. So if any of you can answer that, please do mention down in the comments below. Paco asked, any plans to prevent PI container spam causing lag and not letting a player load properly onto grid? Answer is, in 2019 December open beta test, a server bug caused the PI container spam. That should not happen in general case. Since that server bug is fixed, I believe the PI container rules doesn't change for now, but if the lag happens again, we will solve it ASAP. That nerd in Dubai asked, what measures are you putting into place to prevent cheaters? Are you restricting use to handsets only and not emulators? What about cheats who root or JB their phones, jailbreak their phones? Answer is, we have a separate anti-cheat team to help us, but we will not directly ban emulators and rooted devices. That is fair. Incoming asks, in Europe, you're custom via customs to use iOS and Android devices. Do you plan to bind our accounts to a simple email and not one of those two platforms? Not being able to play on both devices is very restrictive and frustrating. Answers, we are working on allowing play on both iOS and Android devices with Facebook and Twitter accounts. Okay, and other third parties account we plan to support in the future. Toldu asked, at times it would just stop when leaving the application, especially if I just moved it to the background instead of specifically closing the app. I would come back into my ship just sitting idle next to a gate. This is a bug we are fixing. Toldu asked, when logging in during the time that offline autopilot is running, my ship would warp from gate to its entry gate and then back across to the exit gate again. So, an extra unnecessary warp across a single system. Answer is, this is because of safe logout has was triggered when logging into the game again. It is a little harder to solve than expected, so it may not be resolved before going online. Even I experienced this particular situation myself quite a lot of times, and well, we won't be getting away with that soon. InExcel asked, will you fix a maximum number of players that can remain in the same solar system? Yes, there will be a maximum limit of pilots in the same solar system, but we will keep working on pushing the number higher and higher. I really hope they push it ASAP. InExcel asked, will you implement in the game the strategic overview? Yes, strategic overview is under development now, and that is really good news, because as far as my knowledge goes, strategic overviews helps you understand the position of your enemies and your like your position and your enemy's position better. InExcel asked during the test was seen lag in the corporate hangar, whether the issue will be resolved in release. Answer is large inventory list has some performance issues which we are gradually solving. I hope they solve this one really quick because it's really irritating when the corporate hangar lags. Grizzly asked, are you going to fix that issue with the anomaly structures which causes your ship to stop and get trapped? Answer is not easy to check every corner and every direction of every anomalies, but if you meet this problem, please report in game or in Discord. We will adjust the collision in those anomalies if possible. Voxel asked, how can you solve a server problem when it goes live? Do you need to shut down the server or can you fix some problems live? Answer is we can fix problems live, but some problem may require server shutting down, and we hope this will never happen. Voxel asks, do you plan downtimes for daily maintenance? Answer is we will have daily maintenance when we first launch, but we hope to gradually transition to weekly maintenance, and that is such a mood killer. I hope they do not have daily maintenance for long and keep us out of the new Eden, as we are really expecting great things from it. Well, Ultima Origin asked, because of the amount of transaction that may happen on day one, will you correct SP gain for players whose transaction occur on day one to account for the minutes of SP since the server opened? I'm very muriatic about SP, or perhaps you can delay SP gain by a day and reward that day's XP the following day. To be honest, we didn't plan for that, but that is an inspiring suggestion, and I really love this suggestion because I think everyone will be facing a issue as there will be such like millions of transaction on day one, and your server just might crash and you will just be logged out, I guess. But well, I really hope that doesn't happen. But really great suggestion, Ultima Origin. Ragnar asked, are you going to optimize player interaction by actually putting a trade window in the game as many people have begged since last year? Answer is I think it is up to our design team. Ragnar asked, there are over 3 million pre-registered for echoes. You mentioned our goal is to handle 150,000 at one time. Do you not anticipate more players being in the game given how many signed up and its popularity? Answer is when we were doing the stress test, the target was higher than 150,000. But 50,000, 15,000 is the current estimated number by our design team. Well, I do not know how did they arrive on the 15,000 number, but given that the developer teams are more experienced than me, uh, let's see how they handle the situation. Well, that the question asked by Ragnar is my concern as well. LordCon, that is me, asks, in the closed beta, switching characters disabled autopilot in the previous character. So will this be rectified or we will have to play this way only? Answer is yes, characters under one account cannot autopilot at the same time because of a very challenging technical problem. Triple autopilot is attractive, but we will but we make it but we made a decision to leave it for a while, and that is really disappointing because I really hate having to log back into my of only one pilot only one character autopiloting because it takes away a significant amount of time, and it's just not the right fit. I hope they rectify or make improvements in this aspect really quick. Sama Sanchan asked, any plans to allow non-consensual PvP in HiSec? Any plan to consider it eventually? Answer is our design team currently does not have this plan, and that is a good thing because I really do not want PvP to be available in HiSec because I do not like the new players need to have a safe haven for say growing. Robin asked, will we be able to use multiple accounts on one device? Answer is yes, you can use multiple accounts on one device. Robin asked, what happens if you're offline using autopilot and try to enter a full system? Answer is if you're offline using autopilot and try to enter a full system, a safe logout will be triggered immediately and a push notification will be sent to you if you enabled. That is good news as they have taken the step necessary to protect the pilot and and his or her ship. Bloody asked, you make it sound like you have servers both in USA and EU. Is this true? Answer is the servers running the solar system is located at Virginia, but we will have proxy servers on different servers on different areas. These servers are used to speed up the connection between your client and the solar system server nodes. Question Timai asked, information asymmetries are bad, and if you recall the earliest history of EVE Online, they nearly ruined the game. It will be inevitable that people will reverse engineer the game or target NetEase employees with phishing, bribery, extortion attempts to gain inside information. How do you plan to mitigate the risk to the game? First, can you please publish all the post post beta balance changes before launch? Second is, can you publish loot tables? Third is, will you release the JSON tables of BP and the module info? Fourth is, can we get more personal and corp hangers to reduce inventory lags? Answer is just a one liner to such a really good question and a very long question. It's up to our design team. I think they are very open to this. If you have requests, please send to them. I hope they do send us all the changes that are made post beta, because we don't want to be hitting a trial and error method after the game officially launches. Lyric is there any plans for optimization of the UI in general, like window resizing and options to change location of locked windows, widgets to give us more freedom over the UI for our current activities, like fighting, mining, or encounters? Answer is, our UI team is currently focusing on solving the problems of existing interface design. If you have any suggestion, please let us know. It is a good suggestion, but I think they will be more focused on stabilizing the servers and making sure the gaming experience is lag free. But yeah, I would really love to have more freedom over my UI. Lord Raymond asked, where the volume in the other ITCs beside Jita at the level that you wanted them to be at? If not, are we going to see anything new at launch to try encourage this? Answer is, actually all ITCs share the same mechanics. We would like to give players the chance to set up their business in their favorite place. And of course, I do not think the developer it will be fair if the developers give any advantage on selling in any other ITC except Jita, because it will just imbalance the game, I guess. Travesty asks, will there be an option to lower settings further to extend battery life? Answer is, there are currently no more options. We are focusing on optimizing the current energy efficiency. Alex Vegas asked, what is the system player limit at the moment? Answer is, without time dilation, currently it's set to 1000, but we can adjust this number dynamically, so it depends on the status of the server after launch. We plan to have time dilation on first DLC. After that, we will continue working on improving it further. And I am again lost on time dilation thing, so if anyone can help me out, that will be great. Elena asked, any optimization for PvP ganking like dscan, probe, etc. Now we can only warp to anomalies one by one while ganking. While ganking, it sucks. Answer is, we will have a scan in the future. I think this is some EVE Online mechanics I am not familiar with. But if any of you can answer this one and explain what the D-scan or probe is, it will be great. Lane asked, when I warp to my fleet mate who is 100 kilometers away from a signal anomaly station, etc., I will just land on the signal at 0. Is that normal? Will it be optimized? Answer is, it's designed, but our designer is open to your feedback. Kako 1300 asked, in this beta, exiting the game for a while jumping between systems sent you to the menu when you rent the application. Will this have a solution? Answer is, because you are already in another solar system, you need to re-enter, but we are working hard to make this process faster. Kako 1300 asked, there was also performance issue when playing for a long time. The game started to get stuck and slowed down. Will it be fixed? Answer is, yes. If you still encounter this, please let us know. Kako 1300 asked, will there be an option to see at least the statistics of the enemy ship? I'm not asking for your equipment, but if they add it, I won't complain either. I will bring this up to our designers, and I do not think that it will be like I do not think that that will be even coming, because there will be widespread revolts from the player if they include this in the design. Because one thing about Eve is like having ships, your enemy not knowing your ships. So yeah, Breezeman asked, optimize the display on iPad. Second, allow the use on of a mouse on iOS support on. Answer is iOS is in our plan, but not in very near future. Sorry. And that brings us to the end of our Ask Me Anything for optimization and UI. And I hope you enjoyed the video and you gained some insights on how the game is going to be proceeding in the future, and what changes can you be expecting to be done faster than the other, and being giving priority. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support. See you soon.